Hey gang, Nolan here from the TEFL Madrid Academy. How is everyone? For today's installment, I'm going to tell you about Las Fallas. So Las Fallas is a festival in, Valencia. So about 3.5 hours east of Madrid. Now it's meant to be 3.5 hours. It didn't take my friend and I 3.5 hours to get there though. So here's what happened. On the Friday night, we decided to get a blah blah car. Do you guys know what blah blah car is? Blah blah car is a car sharing app where you can pay quite often less than a bus to jump in a car with someone driving to the destination you want to go. I managed to get a place for my friend and I for 25 euros one way. That's pretty good, right? So we ended up getting a rideshare on the Friday afternoon with the aims of getting down to Valencia at around about 9 o'clock at night, just in time for the fiesta. But it seems like everyone in Madrid had the same idea of leaving at the same time. So we ended up taking about 5.5 hours to get there. However, when we got there, it was really well worth it. And here are some of the reasons why. So Las Fallas, if you don't know, is a festival where these huge structures made of these highly flammable materials are burnt. Still not following me? Okay, so you have these huge, almost puppet-like structures made out of wood and polystyrene that look back on the year and sort of poke fun at some of the bigger personalities. So quite often the fires include pictures of famous celebrities who've done silly things like Senor Trump from America or the current president of Spain. He got a mention in probably every second fire that I saw. So fires are these amazing structures that you come by that are super colorful, that are really interesting and have a bit of an erotic or kind of satirical sort of twist to them, if you catch my drift. So these fires, they number in the hundreds, are scattered all around the town, or city rather, of Valencia. So during the day, it was a really good opportunity to visit these fires and just check out the scale of some of them. Some of them were about 15, maybe 20 meters tall, and quite often took up the majority of the plaza, so the squares in the city of Valencia. Another really incredible thing that we witnessed during the day in Valencia on the Saturday and the Sunday was what's called La Mascleta. Now La Mascleta is essentially a huge series of fireworks that are let off in the center of town. The Plaza de Ayuntamiento, which is the plaza where the town hall is. Excuse the Spanish. And pretty much what they do is they cordon off the entire square with these huge metal walls and they set up the fireworks or fuegos artificiales, and at 2 o'clock on the dot every day, in the afternoon of course, they let off La Mascleta, these incredible fireworks. Now, if you don't know already, I come from Sydney and we have some incredible fireworks for New Year's Eve. But the fireworks for New Year's Eve paled in comparison to La Mascleta. La Mascleta was incredible. It was the biggest sounds and vibrations I've ever experienced in my life. Now, when these fireworks went off, even though we were 50, 60, maybe 70 meters away from where these fireworks are going off, you could still feel these incredible vibrations going through your body. It literally was otherworldly. And you could look up at the same time at some of the apartamentos, the apartments and the oficinas, the offices that were near to the plaza where the fireworks were going off, and the windows were shaking like visibly centimeters. They were shaking centimeters. It was something I'd never experienced before, and everyone who was there got a massive rush out of it. During the night, there were the more conventional sort of fireworks, which were incredibly beautiful and well choreographed. But the creme de la creme, or the crema de la crema, no pun intended, was the Sunday night. So we got there the Friday night, We checked out the Fallas during the day of Saturday and Sunday. We had a few trips to the beach. We also had some paella. It's where paella is from, and you'll never guess, the authentic paella is actually made with broad green beans, snails or escargotes, and also rabbit. Yeah, who would have known? Delicious. We had our fill when we were there. Our fill rather. So the night of la crema, so essentially the cremation night, is when these incredible fire structures that they built are set up in flames right in the middle of neighborhoods essentially. So the bomberos, the firemen of the local kind of areas, we managed to go to the fires in our area, set these huge structures that the local communities have been working on for the entire year up in flames. Now again, my friends and I made sure we're about 50 meters away from the action, just in case, you never know. And even though we were 50 meters away, the spectacle was incredible. These huge structures were just being cremated right in front of our eyes. And the heat, the intensity of the heat coming off these structures, even though we were 50 meters away, was just so noticeable. You could feel almost like the hairs on your body kind of singeing. All the while, the bomberos, the firemen, were kind of hosing about 5 meters back from the fire structures to ensure that no kind of embers or excess heat landed onto the people. And the structures are also made out of polystyrene and out of things that aren't great to sort of inhale. So I imagine that's what the water is for as well. So all in all, fires, incredible fiesta, incredible. Mucha gente, there was mucha gente, but for great things you expect a lot of people, and I wasn't massively perturbed by it. One of the kind of downsides, maybe upsides for other people, is the fact that during the whole of Las Fallas, whether it be 3 in the morning or 3 in the afternoon, you'll hear fireworks going off or throwdowns. The people of Valencia are allowed to, for the week, to set off their own fireworks, and they don't care if they set off fireworks right next to you or 10 meters away from you. The one thing that is constant is that you hear these things all the time, which is, you know, pretty cool. Don't get me wrong, I like letting off with fireworks as much as the next person, but when it was constantly during the day, during the night, and they had the bands to wake you up during the morning as well, which was fantastic. The music was great, but would have loved a bit of a line. It added to kind of the overall atmosphere, but something kind of to be conscious of if you're thinking of going to fires for next year. But all in all, BlaBlaCar, even though it took longer, we got to meet some really cool people and it was super cheap. La Mascleta was incredible. I've never experienced anything like it. The fireworks during the night rivaled that of Sydney Harbour Bridge, and also the crema, the burning of these massive structures, was amazing, not to mention the paella too. Yeah guys, that's all from me. If you've got any questions, just add it to the YouTube channel we've got, and I'll try and get back to you about some of your interesting questions if you have them. See you later. It's not crema, okay? Crema is something you put on your face. It's crema, and also it's mascleta. So mascleta, there's an accent there on the last A of mascleta. Okay, so mascleta, not mascleta, mascleta was when they let off the fireworks at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Remember, I'm learning Spanish. I hope you guys too are at home, and I'll see you next time.